June 10, 1995, my wife, brother and I made the decision to take a trip down to Happy Camp for a week of gold dredging along the mighty Klamath River. The name, Happy Camp, always seemed fitting, a rugged little town tucked deep in Northern California's forest country, where the sound of the river mixes with birdsong and the faint hum of adventure. We found a quiet gravel bar just above a wide bend in the river and claimed our spot. The afternoon sun shimmered on the water as we pitched our tents and got to work setting up camp. Tarps stretched tight, gear laid out, and coffee pot ready for the morning. The smell of pine and river moss filled the air. David had brought his Proline 4-inch dredge, while I had my homemade 5-inch beast, a labor of love built from spare parts, PVC, and a custom under sluice box I'd designed myself. By the time we got both dredges assembled, the sun was sliding behind the ridgeline, turning the water gold and copper in the fading light. Morning came early, the sunrise spilled across the river, birds calling from the trees, mist rising off the surface. Everything was still, perfect. I was the first to hit the water, sliding into the cool current, feeling that familiar surge of excitement. I started my cut slow, working upstream and downward, carving out a ramp to roll the big rocks out of the hole. The current tugged at my mask, the roar of the dredge thundering in my ears. Hours slipped by. When I finally surfaced, I looked back and realized my hole was the size of a backyard swimming pool. I figured I had to be close to bedrock, where the gold always hides. 2 more hours later, I hit it at 19 feet deep. That's when the excitement really hit. The first few pans were rich, coarse flakes, chunky pieces, and fine dust dancing in the sluice. But by mid-afternoon, the gold began to thin out. I knew someone had worked that stretch long before me, but I couldn't complain. By the end of the week, my haul came to 6.23 troy ounces, solid, heavy, beautiful gold. Dave pulled 3.45 ounces himself. We sat by the fire that last night, the dredges quiet, the river murmuring beside us, the stars sharp and endless above. The week had been hard, wet, and exhausting, but there's nothing quite like holding your own gold in your hand, knowing you earned every flake of it. Thanks for watching another Vince story. If you enjoyed this moment from the past, hit that like button and subscribe. I've got plenty more real stories on the way.